Today I'm going to go over some of the top paying jobs that you can have without a college degree. Stay tuned. Hey friends, welcome to Freedom in a Budget. I'm Kelly, and today we're going to talk about some of the top paying jobs that you can have without a college degree. Now, full disclosure, me and my husband both only have our associate's degree. We do not have our bachelor's degree. We did not go full 4 years in college, which is what traditionally people do here in the United States. We both only did 2-year degrees, and we make well into the 6 figures. So it's definitely possible to make really great incomes without a college degree. There's going to be some things that we're going to go over in this video on how to do that, how to be successful. Now, not saying that this will just come easily for you guys, and not saying that you just have to snap your fingers and all of a sudden you're going to have all this money. No, you're going to have to put work into it and put time into it and effort and different things like that. And also, I'm not totally discrediting college degrees and people that have gotten their 4-year college degree and even further on than that. I have a huge respect for, people that have gone and get their master's, their doctorate, and their medical degrees and different things like that. I work with doctors all day long, and trust me, I want my doctor to have his medical degree, gone to internship, residency, fellowship, all of that. So trust me, I have a huge respect for those people. I want my lawyer to do the same thing, and all of these, higher level jobs that definitely need that degree. So I'm not discrediting that. I think that there is definitely a need for a lot of careers. But I also want to give the other side, and in this day and age, just because you don't have a college degree doesn't mean you can't be successful. So I kind of want to break that stigma. First, we're going to talk about Jamie's job, and he is a lighting designer and a live production lighting designer. When I say lighting designer, a lot of people think of lighting in your house and stage lighting like that. No, he does live productions, concerts, corporate events. He deals with media servers, LED walls, projectors, Vectorworks, CAD programs, all this crazy stuff. It blows my mind what he is able to do, and his knowledge just is so amazing. But he only has his associate's degree, and honestly, they didn't even care about that. They're really big at his company and, in that industry of how teachable are you? Are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to take constructive criticism? Are you willing to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning learning something that you don't know and doing the research and putting in the time to learn it? Yes, then you're fit for that. And he made starting salary $70,000. So when he went full-time on his job, and he actually took his job the day he was freelance for them and for a couple other companies, and then the day we got back from our honeymoon, he signed contract with them and for $70,000, which was awesome. Now, trust me, he travels, he's on the road a lot. He works 16 to 20-hour days a lot of times with no breaks for food and just eats snacks all day, which is really unhealthy and I hate it. But he puts in the time and he's made really good money, and he's been able to grow his income over the years since he's had this job. So $70,000 starting salary for a lighting designer is market value, and that is a really great job that you can get with only a high school diploma. Honestly, that's all he really needed. Next job is in the same kind of industry, kind of not. This is more of a desk job that you can do at home or traveling or whatever it may be. This is one that you can do remote, and that is a web developer. And a lot of I cannot say that word. A lot of web developers, you only need an associate's degree, or you can just kind of build your portfolio up, and they typically make about $70,000, $74,000 starting, and within a couple of years you can work yourself up to high 6 figures if you want. And a lot of those are building websites, they're dealing with coding, and you can make a lot of really great sharp websites for businesses and companies and things that they can't do that themselves. So with this, what you're going to be doing is a lot of graphic design and building websites and coding for businesses and companies that want to have a really sharp looking website to bring traffic to their business. So you're going to be helping them out on the back end. And like I said, for web design, you're going to be making between 70 and 100K in the first few years. Next up is freelance writing. I was actually really blown away by freelance writing and the potential it has. I didn't realize it was so big until I went to FinCon and I saw so many people doing it and talking to me about it, and just the opportunity, and people that were making 6 figures was crazy. Now, it took them a couple of years to build up to that, and build up their clientele, build up their portfolio, build up their experience with writing. But there are so many brands and companies and other blogs out there that want ghost writers for their blog or for their business, which is crazy. And so what a ghost post is say I was a freelance writer and I want to write for Forbes, let's say. That would be awesome. But say I want to write for Forbes wants me to write for them, then I will write, they'll give me a topic or we'll negotiate a topic, and then I will write the post on behalf of them, and then they'll post it on their website. They're going to be the ones that are receiving all of the revenue. So all the ad revenue, they'll be receiving all the affiliate link ad revenue, all of that. I'm just strictly having the post. So I hope that makes sense. Next up is a real estate agent. And according to salary.com, a real estate agent starting out is typically between $39,000 and $63,000. For that, you only need an associate's degree, and then there are some classes you have to take and a certification. And a lot of it, we'll be honest, does have to take into effect of where you live in the country. You know, 3% of a $100,000 house is a lot different than 3% of a $600,000 house. So if you're living in a higher market, you know, somewhere like LA, Miami, something like that, where they're all $1 million homes, your revenue is going to be a lot higher. But you also have to take into consideration that a lot of those multimillionaires, they're not going to be wanting to, you know, buy or sell from someone that is just starting out. So it may be a little bit easier in a smaller market, but the revenue is a lot higher in a bigger market because typically you're going to be taking 3% of the revenue of the sale, which is great. And along with that is rental properties. If you own real estate and you have rentals, that is an amazing, amazing passive income. We're actually looking to get into that right now. And one of my friends, Bryce, pointed out to me, he goes, Kelly, if there's a recession and there's market crash, what do you think people are going to be doing when, you know, they have to sell their home because they can't afford it? They're going to go and rent. So rental properties are recession proof. You know, when the recession comes and, you know, people can't afford their homes, they can't, you know, they have to downsize, what are they going to do? They're going to rent. And I was like, wow, yeah, definitely didn't think of it that way. So that is a great way to just build passive income. Now this isn't a passive income video, but I just have to go there because that's who I am. But rental incomes and rental properties are a great passive income source of income. Next up is a trade job. So something like a plumber, electrician, these are really, really great work with your hands type of jobs. And they typically start between $45,000 and $50,000, which, to be honest, that is a great starting salary. That's a lot higher than my starting salaries were, and that is something that is always going to be around. There's always going to be, you know, plumbing that needs to be fixed, electrical that needs to be fixed, both in homes and in businesses. So those jobs, they're always going to be around. There's always going to be a need for them, and those are something also that you only need an associate's degree. You don't need a bachelor's degree, you just need an associate degree, and then become a master plumber, master electrician, get that certification and those classes done. Registered nurse is the next one. Registered nurses typically start around $50,000 to $80,000. You only need an associate's degree with the registered nurse as well. And then if you want, you can go on to higher education and get more of that learning upper level degree and, you know, skill set with nursing, but you can become an RN in the medical field for just an associate's degree, which is really great, and then making pretty decent income on just having that. Along with that is an ultrasound tech. They typically make about $65,000, and those you need an associate's degree and then a certification as well. And come on, who wouldn't want to look at little babies all day long? And, you know, there are other things that ultrasound techs other than just looking at babies. I think that's where our mind automatically goes, but you can make a big difference with ultrasound and, you know, finding different diseases and tumors and, you know, different things like that. And it's a really, really interesting field. It's a really interesting thing that's always going to be changing, always going to be learning, always new, different things going on, which is really, really interesting. Next up is a paralegal, and they typically start about $50,000. And again, all you need is an associate's degree for a paralegal. And I've seen so many people that start at a law firm and they'll start as a receptionist or work as a paralegal and then work their way up. And it's amazing when you start, you know, as a receptionist, as a legal assistant, what you learn and the skill sets that you learn, and then you can prove yourself and prove that you know what you're talking about. You know how it all works, you know, all the logistics and everything, and you know what to look for. That's really going to help set yourself up. So if you want to start as a receptionist or legal assistant and work your way up to a paralegal, that's a really, really great way to do it. And then who knows where the law firm may want to take you after that. Maybe they want to pay for your schooling, and maybe they want to help advance your career. But being a paralegal, you're in it. You're, learning about all the stuff. You're helping with the cases. You are really helping to assist a lawyer, and you can make a big difference. Next up is electrical power line installers and repairmen people. They typically have a median average salary of $70,000, which is amazing. It is a little bit of a dangerous job, we'll be honest, but it is so important. Especially when you think about where technology is going nowadays, with cell phone towers and power and all of that. It is so fascinating, and trust me, there is a need. I live in South Florida where we have hurricanes, and I see them bringing power people from all over the country and flying them down and having them drive their trucks down. So trust me, there is a need. I hate to say it, but there are always going to be hurricanes. There are always going to be natural disasters. There are always going to be a need for people like that to come and help and to, bring power to people. And think about, like, when you break down of, yeah, you're just hooking up power, it may seem like a mundane job, but when you think about, okay, I'm hooking up power so that this company can go and help people. I'm hooking up power so that this family can live properly. And it's just so cool of when you break it down of the mindset of you really are making a difference and you really are impacting people. So just having that mindset of helping people, it really just makes a difference in your mindset and not having it just be like, oh, just a job. And I can't get over of how much mindset is in all of these jobs. And whether you have a college degree or don't, guys, your mindset, your teachability, if that's even a word, I think it is, but just your willingness to be teachable, your willingness to learn from constructive criticism and to go out there and maybe I keep on pointing to the office in our house, but maybe you have to stay up late and research. Maybe you have to really dig in and figure out what it is that you can do better in your job and your career, whether that's on the clock or off the clock. There's so many times where Jamie's up till 2 o'clock in the morning figuring something out. Was that paid? Oh, heck no, it's not paid. But he's doing it to be a better employee, to grow himself. And whether his boss knows this or not, he knows that he's putting in those hours and he knows that he's learning so that he can better himself and just be more proud of his work. So I hope that's helpful, guys. Next up is 5 tips on how to stop living paycheck to paycheck. I know it's tough. I know that, this may be a hard time for you guys, but I have some really great practical tips on how to stop living paycheck to paycheck, how to break that cycle so that you can get ahead. So I'll see you in that video.